Good morning to you all students. Today we will complete the remaining part of the chapter number 4, A Truly Beautiful Mind. Before we begin, there is just a question on your screen. Read it carefully and try to find out the answer. Okay, not now, later on. Page number 49, paragraph number 11. Up till now in this story we have done that Einstein wanted to get married to Melvia, but the mother opposed for the wedding, and she was not ready for the wedding. And mother said that she was 3 years older to him, and she was also she was concerned about the Melvia's intelligence because she was like a book. She said that, and obviously Einstein was himself very intelligent. So the mother thought that both of them, the marriage won't succeed. So the mother was against the marriage, and she told Einstein not to get married to that girl. But against the mother's will, Einstein got married to Melvia. So paragraph number 11. The pair finally married in January 1903 and had 2 sons. So yet Einstein married Melvia, and he in his life they had 2 sons. But a few years later the marriage faltered. Faltered means was not successful, became weak, and actually problems started in their married life. So Melvia meanwhile was losing her intellectual ambience and becoming an unhappy housewife. So now the problem was that Melvia, obviously she was also a very intelligent girl, and after the marriage the thing was that she could not concentrate on her work, on her study, on her intelligence, and she became a poor housewife because there were 2 children and she was engrossed in the household work throughout, working day and night, and she was unable to use her intellectual and to build up her career. So obviously problems had to be created under such kind of an atmosphere. So intellectual ambition and became an unhappy housewife, and she became an housewife. After years of constant fighting, the couple finally divorced in 1919, and the problem was that after a lots of family problems between the two, and obviously Einstein was very busy person, so he also didn't have much time for the family and his wife. So there were fighting, there were problems in the marriage, and later on it ended up to a divorce in 1919. But as he got divorced from Melvia, Einstein married his cousin Elsa the same year. But Einstein got married for the second time, and he married one of his cousins known as Elsa. The same year he got married. Paragraph number 12. Einstein's new personal chapter coincided with his rise to the world fame, and now Einstein continued his work and he became a world famous person. In 1915 he had published his general theory of relativity, and in 1915 for which he is well known throughout the world was the theory of relativity, and he published a theory which provided a new interpretation of gravity, and it showed the real meaning of gravity, and the world came to know that what actually gravity is, how powerful gravity is. So this was his theory, and the theory of relativity, which provided a new interpretation of gravity. And an eclipse of the sun in 1919 brought proof that it was accurate, and that very year there was a solar eclipse, and what his theory proved was actually exactly that had happened. So the eclipse also brought a proof, and his theory was an accurate one. Einstein had correctly calculated in advance the extent to which the light from a fixed star would be deflected through the sun's gravitational field. See now, Just try to understand, it is a bit difficult, but Einstein had actually calculated well in advance. That word advance is very important, means not after going through the process, but well in advance, the extent to which the light from a fixed star would be deflected. Deflected means changing of the direction because it hits something. Light also, if we place a light on the mirror, it deflects from the mirror, and you can see it in some other direction also. So this was what he proved, but the theory was a very complex one, in which he proved that fixed stars would be deflected through the sun's gravitational field. So he said that the gravity of the sun is so powerful that it can even deflect, and even it can change the path, the way of light. As we know that light travels straight, nothing can change the path of light, but the gravitation is so powerful that it can turn the way of the light also when it is reflected. So see, just understand that how difficult these things are, and to prove them would be so difficult. So he proved it, the sun's gravitational field. The newspapers proclaimed his work as a scientific revolution, and it was something which was done for the very first time, a very difficult thing to be proved, and that theory throughout the world, it proclaimed his work as a scientific revolution. And it was not just a small discovery or something new that people came to know, but it was known as a scientific revolution, means a very, very big achievement. Einstein received the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1921. We know what Nobel Prize is. It's given in all the other fields also. So he received it in 1921 for in the field of physics. He was showered, and receiving a Nobel Prize brings a lot of popularity throughout the world. It is very difficult to have a Nobel Prize, to get a Nobel Prize, and your lifelong work, many of them work throughout their life, yet they are not liable to receive it. But Einstein received it. He was showered with honors and invitation. Obviously, he was showered, means with honor and invitations from all over the world, and lauded. Lauded means very much praised by the press. He was praised throughout the press. He was in each and every headline, every newspaper, and what he had proved was really very magnificent. So throughout all over the world, he received lots of invitations from all the other countries, honor, respect, everything. So he was a world figure now, a very famous one. But now there were a bit changes that happened in his life. Paragraph number 14. When the Nazi, means the rule of the Hitler, came to power in Germany in 1933, as we know about the history of Germany, that Hitler was a very, very cruel leader, and he was conquering countries after countries, and he was waging war against everyone. He was also one of the reasons for the world war that had happened, took place. So as Einstein was very intelligent, he understood that if he would remain in Germany, then Hitler would use his theories for destructive methods, for destructive use, and he knew that he won't be much free in the country, in his own country, because of Hitler. So he was very intelligent. What did he do? As he knew that the Nazis were gaining more and more power, Einstein immigrated to United States. So he rushed to United States. He went away to United States, leaving Germany. 5 years later, the discovery of nuclear fission in Berlin had American scientists in an uproar. In an uproar means very upset. So when he went there, he continued his work there also. And when he proved one of his other theories about the nuclear fission, you might have studied it in the science, fission and fusion. So he proved that theory again, and all the American scientists were in uproar, means very very upset, that cause he had proved something again which was very very great. Many of them had fled from fascism, just like Einstein. And fascism means where people are much suppressed, oppressed, they are not given the rights, so people cannot live under pressure, so they just leave the country and run away. So lots of people like him were also there, just as Einstein had, and now they were afraid the Nazis would build and use an atomic bomb. So now they were afraid that if the Nazis got hold of the theory of the invention, they could build, not only build the bomb but also use. And we can understand that what an atomic bomb is. It is a very powerful thing. It creates mass destruction. So at the urging, means very very strong desire of a colleague, after telling him, urged him, Einstein wrote a letter. One of his colleagues told him, and he wrote a letter to American President Franklin D. Roosevelt, that was the president at that time of the US, on 2nd August 1939, in which he warned. So he wrote the letter to the president because he as a scientist knew that what an atomic bomb can do, how destructive and how dangerous it is. So he warned the American president, because why did he warn the American president? Because he himself was now in America, he lived there, that's why. So he wrote a letter and told him, and these are his lines in the text: a single bomb of this type exploded in a port might very well destroy the whole port together with some of the surrounding territories. So this was just a very very simple and a short explanation what actually a bomb can, atomic bomb can do. A very small bomb, if it is used, it can create a very huge destruction. Not only the place where it explodes, but it engulfs even the lots of large territory and surrounding also is destroyed. So this was, he might have written many things, but these are only the 2 to 3 lines. His words did not fail to have an effect. So as the president got the letter, he understood the seriousness, the dangers behind it. So it had an effect on him, and the American developed the atomic bomb in a secret project of their own. So he also in a way guided them, that what he showed them the negative things about the atomic bomb, and that also created an awareness that the bomb can be even used by America. If they develop it, it could be as a protective measure for them. So the Americans developed the atomic bomb in a secret project. See, they developed it secretly of their own and dropped it on the Japanese city of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945. We know these two cities. We might have even you might have studied it in the social studies. So the Americans developed the bomb secretly, and the pathetic thing was that they dropped the bomb on 2 of the cities, very developed cities of Japan, of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and we know that what actually had happened when the bombs were dropped. One of the most dangerous thing, and creating a lots of destruction of human life as well as property as well as nature. On the August 1945, and when they dropped the bomb, they came to know the result later on, that what actually the effect was. Because at that time America had not very good relationship with Japan, because previously Japan had also attacked America, and as a reply America had dropped this bomb. That is, if you go deeper in the history, you will understand that the previous attack was done by Japan. So as a answer to that, America dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Paragraph number 16. Einstein was deeply shaken by the extent of destruction. So actually they had built, but that bomb had never been used anywhere, and America did a wrong thing by using those bombs on the cities where people actually lived. So millions of people died, and there was it was a very sad chapter in the history of mankind, a very sad chapter. So America used it, and after that, when Einstein saw the destruction, he himself understood that how dangerous an atomic bomb can be. So these were the times of the atomic bomb. Now, in our society, we have right now, in our times, we have the nuclear bombs, which are considered as 10,000 times more dangerous bombs than the bombs which were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which can destroy the entire world, the entire earth. For it has the capacity of destroying the earth not only once but 10 to 50 times. It can destroy the world, and after that, if such a nuclear bomb is used, there are no chances even for the virus also or for the bacteria also to live. They cannot live, and they cannot survive. And this is not just for a part time, this is forever. It will take millions and millions of years for the poison that it creates in the air to dissolve, and after that the earth will never be a place where any human thing can survive, any living thing can survive. So these are the dangers of it. So this was just a atomic bomb at that time. So paragraph number 16, Einstein was deeply shaken by the extent of the destruction. This time he wrote a public missive. Public missive means a very long letter, and with lots of detail, to the United Nations. In it he proposed the formation of the world government. See, now what he did do when he saw the destruction, when he saw the what the atomic bomb had created, the problems, the entire world was actually shaken through this, and he himself also. So what did he do? He said to he proposed the formation of the world government. He wanted that all the governments should unite, and nobody should be using these types of weapons again in future. So he wanted this, but unlike the letter to Roosevelt, this one made no impact. See, now America had gained its own atomic bomb. So this time they did not take much interest in what Einstein said. So they did not, that letter, second letter did not create any impact, means America did not much bother about it. But over the next decade, after a next decade, Einstein got even ever more involved in politics. So now he started, after that, he started creating interest in politics, and he was now much more in politics for the world welfare. Agitating means exciting, to excite something, to shake it up till the end, for an end to the arm build-up, and using his popularity to campaign for peace and democracy. See, what did he do? He wanted that there should be a control of arm build-up, means this atomic bombs, and using his he used his own popularity, because he was a very famous person, to campaign, means to advertise. Actually, not an advertisement, campaign is just another word for peace and democracy. He used his own popularity for peace in the world and democracy, so that what had happened in America, in Japan, would not happen. He tried to work for the world peace. When Einstein died in 1955 at the age of 76, in 1955 Einstein died at the age of 76. He was celebrated as a visionary. So a visionary is a person who thinks a lot in advance, who has a vision for the future, and who knows what future holds and what is needed in the future. The person who thinks lots in advance and for the welfare and well-being of humanity and everything. that is known as a visionary. So Einstein is not only known as a scientist, obviously he was the greatest scientist, but he was also known for his visionary views that he had in his mind. So he was visionary and world citizen as much as a scientific genius, and he is considered as a world citizen as much as a scientific genius, and he was also considered as a scientific genius, and we all know that. So here we come to the end of the chapter. Question answers on page number 51. You read the chapter, go through the chapter once again, read the chapter, try to find out the answers. We will obviously discuss in our next lecture the question answers, but as I told you, again I am telling you, don't wait for me. You can continue writing, because whenever there will be orders from the school, we will have to submit your, even the fair books that you will have to submit. So it's better that you keep on writing, otherwise at the end you will have problem to finish them all together. So keep on writing. We will be discussing the question answers, and up till then this was one of the phase of Einstein, when a photographer had when he was traveling somewhere and suddenly a photograph took a click of him, he made this face. He was a very different kind of a person. This photograph is also it became a historical photograph of his, because he was funny also at many times, being such a great scientist. So here we come to the end of the chapter. Please read the chapter, find out, and try to write the question answers. Thank you very much.